For many years, Sandra Bullock was one of the most familiar faces in Hollywood. People watched her grow from a rising actress into a global star. She was in hit movies, on magazine covers, and everywhere on TV. For a long time, it felt like she had a stable, happy life. She made people laugh, she played strong characters, and she carried herself with confidence. Fans saw her as someone who had figured things out. But life doesn't stay the same forever. As time passed, things around her began to shift. The industry changed. Her personal life changed. The spotlight became heavier. What looked smooth from the outside often felt very different on the inside. Long years in Hollywood can take a toll on anyone. The pressure to stay strong, stay relevant, and stay perfect can wear a person down slowly. Now, at 61, her life looks quieter. Many fans have noticed the change and started to wonder what's really going on. If you've followed her career and still care about her, take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support helps keep these stories going, and it shows that people still care about the stars who gave so much of themselves over the years. When her career began to rise, everything moved quickly. One successful movie led to another. Soon she was starring in major films and becoming a household name. With success came expectations. Producers wanted her. Studios depended on her. Audiences expected her to deliver every time. She became someone who could carry a film on her own, and that meant constant work. Long filming schedules became normal. Early mornings, late nights, travel between sets, and non-stop promotion tours filled her calendar. For years, she lived out of suitcases and hotel rooms. While it looked exciting from the outside, it also meant very little rest. Being in demand is a good thing, but it also means there's no real off switch. Every role had to succeed. Every interview had to go well. Every public appearance mattered. She was often labeled as one of the most likable actresses in the industry. That reputation brought its own kind of pressure. She was expected to be funny, friendly, and strong at all times. If she had a bad day, she still had to smile. If she felt tired, she still had to show up and perform. Over time, keeping that image can become exhausting. There were moments when she wanted to slow down, but the momentum of her career kept pushing forward. When you're at the top, it's hard to step away. Opportunities keep coming. People keep asking. Saying no becomes difficult because so many people depend on your success. That kind of responsibility can sit heavily on someone's shoulders. Behind the scenes, the constant attention never really stopped. Cameras followed her at events. Media outlets wrote about her daily life. Even small personal moments sometimes became public news. Living like that for years changes how a person moves through the world. Privacy becomes rare. Trust becomes harder. The line between personal life and public life starts to blur. There were times when she likely felt the need to be strong for everyone around her. Fans saw confidence and humor, but maintaining that image takes effort. Even strong people get tired. Even successful people feel pressure. When your face is known everywhere, it can feel like you're always being watched, even when you just want a normal day. As her career kept growing, the pace didn't slow. More roles came. More travel came. More expectations came. The success that made her famous also created a cycle that was hard to escape. She had built a career many people dream of, but it came with a level of stress that stayed constant for years. Her personal life became public in ways she never planned. Relationships that might have stayed private for most people were discussed openly in headlines. When things went well, the media celebrated. When things went wrong, the coverage became intense. It's one thing to go through heartbreak. It's another to go through it while the whole world is watching. There was a time when she believed she had found stability in her marriage. From the outside, it looked like a fresh start and a happy chapter. But when that relationship fell apart, it happened in the most public way possible. News spread quickly. Details were discussed everywhere. It became a topic people talked about nonstop. Experiencing betrayal is painful for anyone. Experiencing it under a spotlight adds another layer. She had to process her emotions while cameras waited outside and reporters asked questions. Even simple tasks like going out for groceries could turn into a public moment. Healing becomes harder when you don't have space to be alone. She kept working through it, but that kind of heartbreak leaves marks. Trust becomes harder. Letting people in becomes more complicated. It can take years to rebuild a sense of normalcy after something like that. While fans eventually moved on to other news, she still had to live with the emotional impact. There were periods when she stepped back from public life. Not completely disappearing, but choosing quieter moments. She seemed more careful about what she shared and who she let into her circle. When someone goes through a painful experience in public, they often learn to protect themselves more closely afterward. Friends and close family likely became more important during that time. Support systems matter when everything feels unstable. Having people you trust around you can help rebuild confidence. Slowly, she found ways to keep moving forward while carrying the lessons from that chapter of her life. The media eventually moved on, but the experience stayed with her. Public embarrassment can leave a deep impression. It changes how a person sees attention and fame. It can make someone value privacy in a stronger way than before. Over time, it can shape decisions about work, relationships, and how much of life is shared with the public. Becoming a mother changed everything for her. It shifted her priorities in a way that no movie role or award ever could. After years focused on career and public life, she chose to build a family. That decision brought joy, but it also brought responsibility. Raising children later in life means balancing energy, time, and protection in new ways. Adoption is a deeply personal journey. It comes with excitement and also with challenges. She took on the role of parent with full commitment. Suddenly, her daily routine wasn't about film schedules and press tours. It was about school runs, bedtime routines, and creating a stable home environment. That kind of shift can be grounding but also demanding. Being a parent while still known worldwide adds extra layers of concern. Protecting children from media attention becomes a full-time effort. She became more private, more careful about where she went and what she shared. Public appearances became less frequent because home life mattered more. There were likely moments of worry. Raising kids always comes with fear about their safety, their happiness, and their future. Doing it while being recognized everywhere makes those worries stronger. She had to find ways to give them a normal upbringing despite her fame. That meant creating boundaries and stepping back from constant exposure. Motherhood also changed how she viewed work. Roles had to fit into family life. Time away from home became more difficult. Long shoots in distant locations meant time away from her children. That kind of separation can be hard for any parent. Over time, she seemed to choose projects more carefully. The joy of family life brought comfort, but it also brought a new kind of exhaustion. Parenting takes energy every single day. Combined with years of previous work stress, it can be tiring. Still, she stayed focused on giving her children stability. That became the center of her world. Her public image shifted too. Fans started to see her more as a mother than just a movie star. She appeared less on red carpets and more in quiet, everyday moments. The change wasn't sudden, but it became clear over time. Her life had moved into a different phase, one centered around home rather than constant public attention. Years of work can leave physical marks. Long shoots, travel, and demanding roles put strain on the body. Even strong, healthy people feel the effects after decades of that kind of schedule. As time passed, she likely started feeling the need to slow down. Fatigue can build gradually. It doesn't always appear in dramatic ways. Sometimes it's just a constant tiredness that never fully goes away. Action scenes, long hours on set, and constant travel can take a toll. Rest becomes harder to find. Sleep schedules become irregular. When you spend years pushing through exhaustion, the body eventually asks for a break. That's something many actors face as they get older, especially those who worked nonstop for years. There were moments when she stepped away from filming. Some breaks were planned, others necessary. From the outside, fans saw fewer appearances and wondered why. The answer often comes down to energy and health. Maintaining the same pace at 60 that you had at 30 is nearly impossible. Stress also affects physical health. Carrying personal grief, responsibility for family, and the memory of past heartbreak can weigh heavily. Even when someone looks fine on camera, they may be dealing with fatigue behind the scenes. It becomes important to choose rest over constant activity. She appeared to focus more on home life and less on public events. That shift often comes when someone realizes they need to protect their well-being. Slowing down isn't always a choice made easily, especially for someone used to being busy. But sometimes it becomes necessary. Friends and family likely encouraged her to rest more and work less. Having a support system can make it easier to step back. The entertainment industry doesn't always slow down, but individuals eventually have to. Health and energy become priorities that can't be ignored. Living with physical exhaustion changes daily routines. Simple things like staying home, avoiding travel, and keeping a smaller schedule become more appealing. The spotlight grows dimmer, but life becomes calmer. For someone who spent decades under constant attention, that kind of quiet can feel both unfamiliar and necessary. In recent years, one of the heaviest parts of her life has been grief. Losing someone close changes everything. especially when that person has been part of your daily routine and emotional support. For a long time, she kept her personal world very private, so when loss came, she handled it mostly out of public view. From the outside, fans only saw that she stepped back. Inside her world, things were very different. Caring for a loved one during illness is exhausting in ways people don't always understand. It takes emotional strength, time, and constant attention. There are hospital visits, long nights, and moments of worry that stretch for months or even years. When you're also a public figure, the challenge becomes protecting that person's privacy while still being there for them completely. She chose to focus on family and stayed away from the spotlight during that time. Grief doesn't end quickly. It lingers in daily routines. It appears in quiet moments at home. Even after the public stops talking about it, the person living through it still feels the absence. She likely had to adjust to a new normal while continuing to care for her children and manage her own health and energy. That kind of emotional weight can be hard to carry alone. There were months where she was barely seen in public. No red carpets, no interviews, no big events. For fans, it felt like she had disappeared. For her, it was about staying close to home and focusing on what mattered most. Sometimes the best way to handle grief is to step away from noise and attention. Being constantly photographed while going through something painful can make healing harder. Friends and close family likely became her main support system. When someone experiences loss, small everyday moments with trusted people can bring comfort. Cooking at home, spending time with children, or simply sitting quietly can feel more important than any public appearance. Those routines help create stability when everything else feels uncertain. Grief also changes priorities. Work becomes less urgent. Fame feels less important. The focus shifts to family, health, and peace of mind. For someone who spent decades working nonstop, stepping back may have felt strange at first. But it also may have felt necessary. There comes a point where protecting emotional well-being matters more than staying visible. Living with loss doesn't mean life stops completely. It just moves at a different pace. She continued to care for her family and handle daily responsibilities, but with a quieter approach. Public life stayed in the background while personal healing took center stage. Over time, she began to reappear slowly, but not in the same way as before. The change was clear. She was no longer chasing the same pace or the same level of attention. After decades in the film industry, burnout can become very real. Working on major movie sets for years means long hours, constant travel, and very little time to rest. At some point, even the most dedicated actor reaches a limit. For her, that moment seemed to arrive gradually. Instead of taking on multiple projects back-to-back, she started choosing fewer roles and longer breaks. Stepping back from Hollywood isn't easy. The industry moves quickly, and staying relevant often requires constant visibility. But after years of success, she had the freedom to slow down. She didn't need to prove herself anymore. She didn't need to accept every script or attend every event. That kind of freedom can feel both relieving and unfamiliar. There were times when she mentioned wanting a normal routine. A life that didn't revolve around film sets and press tours. That meant spending more days at home, focusing on family, and doing everyday things without cameras nearby. For someone who lived under public attention for so long, a quieter life can feel refreshing. Fans noticed her absence. When a star who was once everywhere suddenly appears less often, people start to wonder why. Some assumed she had retired completely. Others hoped she was just taking a break. The truth seemed to fall somewhere in between. She wasn't gone forever, but she was no longer living at the same speed. The decision to slow down often comes from a mix of reasons. Physical exhaustion, emotional stress, and family responsibilities all play a role. Over time, constant work becomes less appealing. Rest becomes more valuable. Being present at home becomes more important than being present on a film set. Hollywood can be demanding. Even when someone wants to step back, offers keep coming. Scripts arrive. Invitations appear. Turning them down takes discipline. It also takes confidence to know that your worth isn't tied to constant visibility. She seemed to reach a point where she valued peace more than attention. Her occasional appearances now feel more selective. When she does show up, it's usually for something meaningful or personal. The days of non-stop promotion and constant filming appear to be behind her. Instead, she seems to be choosing balance. Less work, more time at home. Less travel, more routine. At 61, daily life looks very different from the years when she was constantly in front of cameras. The pace is slower. Mornings are likely more about family routines than early call times on set. There's less rushing from place to place and more time spent at home. After decades of living on a tight schedule, that kind of change can feel both strange and comforting. Aging brings natural changes in energy. Long days that once felt manageable can now feel draining. Travel becomes more tiring. Late nights become harder to recover from. These changes don't mean someone stops living fully, but they do affect how they plan their days. Choosing rest over constant activity becomes more important. Her public appearances have become rare. When she does step out, it's usually brief and low-key. She seems to prefer staying close to home and keeping her circle small. That kind of lifestyle shift often happens when someone wants more privacy and stability. Fame can be overwhelming, especially after many years. Spending time with family appears to be the center of her routine now. School schedules, home life, and simple daily tasks likely take priority. Instead of preparing for movie premieres, she may be preparing meals, attending family events, or enjoying quiet evenings. Those small moments can bring a sense of normalcy that was hard to find during her busiest years. There's also the reality of living with memories from a long career. Decades in the spotlight leave lasting impressions. She's experienced success, heartbreak, joy, and loss all in very public ways. Carrying those experiences into later life can shape how someone chooses to live. Many people who've been in the public eye for years eventually crave quiet. Her lifestyle now seems built around stability. Less travel, fewer obligations, and more time to focus on personal well-being. That doesn't mean she's completely gone from the industry. It just means she's more selective. Projects have to fit into her life rather than the other way around. Living more privately also means fewer interviews and fewer glimpses into her daily routine. Fans see only small moments now. A photograph here, a short appearance there. The rest of her life happens quietly, away from headlines. For someone who spent so many years being watched, that quiet might feel like a relief. Public figures often learn how to maintain a calm image even when life feels heavy. Smiling at events, giving short interviews, and appearing composed becomes part of the job. Over time, it becomes second nature. But behind that calm surface, there can be stress, fatigue, and emotional weight that the public never sees. For years, she appeared strong and confident in front of cameras. That image became part of how people viewed her. But maintaining that strength takes effort. There are days when anyone feels tired or overwhelmed. For someone constantly in the public eye, those days still have to be hidden behind a polite smile. There were moments when she showed up at events while dealing with personal challenges privately. That kind of emotional balancing act is common for many celebrities. Work commitments don't pause for personal struggles. Appearances are scheduled months in advance. When the time comes, they show up, even if they feel exhausted. Fans often assume that success protects people from pain. In reality, it doesn't. Having a well-known career can make certain struggles harder. Privacy becomes limited. Grief becomes public news. Even small personal moments can turn into headlines. That kind of attention can feel overwhelming over time. She seemed to become more protective of her personal space as years passed. Fewer interviews, fewer details shared publicly. That shift often happens when someone realizes how valuable privacy is. Keeping personal life out of the spotlight allows more room to process emotions without outside pressure. Maintaining a positive public image also means choosing words carefully. Speaking openly about pain or exhaustion can lead to more attention than someone wants. So many celebrities learn to keep things simple and polite in public while handling deeper issues privately. It becomes a way of maintaining control over their own story. Even now, when she does appear in public, she often looks calm and composed. But that doesn't mean life has been easy. It just means she has learned how to carry herself with grace. Years of experience in the spotlight teach people how to manage attention while protecting what matters most. Her current routine seems centered on home and family. Instead of early mornings on film sets, mornings likely begin with simple daily tasks. Preparing breakfast, organizing schedules, and spending time with her children. Those everyday moments can feel grounding after years of constant travel and promotion. Life now appears more structured around stability. School runs, quiet afternoons, and evenings at home. The pace is slower but more consistent. That kind of routine can be comforting after decades of unpredictability. Knowing what each day will look like can bring a sense of control and calm. Work hasn't disappeared completely, but it seems to happen on her terms. When she does take on a project, it's usually spaced out and carefully chosen. Long gaps between roles allow her to stay present at home. That balance between occasional work and personal life seems to suit her current stage. Public appearances are rare and usually brief. She might attend an event or support a project, But she doesn't stay in the spotlight for long. After the appearance, she returns to her private world. Fans catch small glimpses, but most of her life remains out of view. Time with close friends likely plays an important role. Trusted relationships become more valuable as life slows down. Spending time with people who understand her without expecting anything from her can bring comfort. Quiet dinners, small gatherings, and simple conversations can feel more meaningful than large public events. There's also the ongoing effort to maintain health and energy. Rest, routine, and staying active in manageable ways become important. As the body changes with age, listening to its needs becomes necessary. Choosing calm over chaos helps preserve energy for what matters most. Her days now seem focused on peace. Less noise, fewer obligations, and more time for personal life. The woman who once lived under constant attention now appears to value quiet moments above everything else. Fame may still follow her, but it no longer defines her daily routine.